Any time to jump into tonight's call. Excited to share the opportunity that we have in front of you. Go right ahead and drop some money bags in the chat if you're equally excited. More than likely here because somebody told you we found a way to turn $45 into a 10,000 US dollar a month income, and that's absolutely correct. Let me state welcome to Project 1000. We will have well over 1,000 members in our network very shortly. At the top of the call, let me take some time to tell you that we are working with a US based company. The company has been around the block for 8+ years. They operate in the wellness space. Myself and the community have been utilizing, the products, utilizing the services of this company for the last 9 to 11 months. Again, a very distinctive moment for us right here in the Caribbean in Trinidad and Tobago. Just about a month and a half ago, the CEO of this company, he took time out of his busy schedule to meet and greet with us in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you take a look at our social media, you're going to see us meeting and greeting with the CEO of this company. That's big. That's huge in my humble opinion, because I've been around the block in the industry of network marketing 13+ years. Of course, I've met with a couple CEOs, but usually at the expense of locals flying out of the country to meet them where they are. On this particular instant, the opposite, the inverse took place. And what that really does, it highlights the level of commitment that the company and the CEO has to our community, but not just that, the level of seriousness that, they're looking at us and our market with. So that's big. That's a distinction. At the top of the call, what we're going to do is we're going to play a 3-minute video so that you yourself could hear from the CEO himself, right? Mr. Dan Putnam. Let me just jump right over to my YouTube link so that you could hear directly from him. A bit about him. I mean, he started like most of us in the industry of network marketing from scratch. And, he built in this industry an income that way surpasses over 6 billion US dollars. And I say that so that you could appreciate, you could understand the level of success that we're having with this company and the CEO. And it should also tell you that we know exactly what we're doing. We're not rolling the dice. So without further ado, pay keen attention to what our CEO has to say, Mr. Dan Putnam. And then right after, I'm going to jump in and break down the nuts and bolts behind the opportunity that we have for you tonight. Let's go.
With Epic Slim, and I want to welcome you to our website. The first thing that I really want to point out, and I want you to focus on, this is not just a product. This is an entire turnkey business opportunity with unlimited potential. Backed by an 8-year-old debt-free company, we own our own software, we even manufacture our own product, and we have a 50% retail plan that pays instant pay. As example, every customer that you get on this amazing product for $55, you're going to earn $27.50, and that will be paid instantly. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on the product, but I will give you the basics. This is designed to be the best anti-aging weight loss product ever created. It starts with our collagen blend. We have collagen peptides that actually contain 16 essential amino acids. We have a nootropic blend so that you can stay focused, mentally clear, and just feel great all day long with products like cordyceps, lion's mane. And then we have a weight management blend that's clinically proven to help you lose more weight than just diet and exercise alone. So again, this is vital for all people that are looking to look better, feel better, have more energy, and just have every single day be at your best. Now, what I want to focus on, again, maybe the most important part, because this is an entire business system. There's 3 steps. Step number 1, you get started by choosing the form that makes the most sense to you. We have coffee or we have tropical. Same active ingredients, basically 2 different flavors. One is a coffee and one is just a tropical beverage. Both of them absolutely incredible. So you get started for $45 with the flavor of your choice. Number 2, you follow our blueprint exactly until you have your first 2 business partners. What this is going to do, it's going to actually qualify you for unlimited commissions in our compensation plan. Step number 3, you want to help your 2 qualify for unlimited commissions, and that actually puts your business in profit. So this business is 100% designed for us to pay you, not for you to pay us. And that's the process that we're going to be focused on duplicating. You duplicate that 4 times. So again, I get 2, I help them get 2, I duplicate that process 4 times. That's going to put me to $5,000 to $10,000 per month. I duplicate it 6 times, and that's going to put me to $40,000 to $50,000 per month. But remember, this is completely unlimited. As soon as you join, you log into the back office, watch our getting started video, download our blueprint. The blueprint's going to go through exactly everything that you need to do to find your 2 business partners. And then step number 3, you go to our daily plan of action. That's going to teach you the marketing side so that you can get endless business partners. This is basically like having a McDonald's tied into an entire turnkey business where you get started, you know exactly what to do. There's no questions asked. If this sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and get started with us today. We have everything that you need to almost guarantee your success.
All right.
Hey, this is Dan.
Drop some money bags in the chat if you're excited. So just to reiterate the fact that you get started just by selecting a product of choice, whether that product be the tropical blend or the coffee. As he rightfully said, these products are brand new. We're talking about 2 going on 3 months. Now, don't forget the company is 8+ years. They have well over 30+ products, but these 2 new products are absolutely new, and it's connected to our new business turnkey system. So when you get started, it's only $45 US. Of course, there's a $10 attached to that for shipping. And if you're obviously living in the islands, you're going to have some clearance fee coming through customs. We work it out at a total of 450 TT dollars. Now, my job is to show you that the product you're going to receive is absolutely free. Just drop free in the chat, because before this call comes to an end, my job is to show you, if you follow the system exact, the product that you started with is going to be absolutely free. But before we go into that, my job is to obviously show you what you get upon starting with us tonight. So once you get started, you get connected to an online pipeline. In other words, you have a ready-made website. You're going to plug into our system, and our system allows you to go in business immediately internationally, because your website, friends, will allow you to acquire customers anywhere in the world. Your website is going to allow you to acquire business partners anywhere in the world. We're in the 4 major markets of the world, and once you get started with us, you're connected to that online pipeline, because now you have your own website that you can send anywhere in the world. Yes, we do business obviously in the US, Canada, Europe, uh, Asia, Malaysia, Africa, and of course, all over the Caribbean world. This is big, this is huge. So again, you get your own website upon getting started. Secondly to that, let's talk about the support and the infrastructure all around the world. Now, in the digital space right now, drop shipping is a big buzzword. Everybody and their auntie and their uncle want to learn how they can do drop shipping business. Well, what do you think you have here? I say it's drop shipping like business, because all you need to do, friends, is acquire the customer or broker the deal with your business partner, and it doesn't matter where in the world they live, the company already has the infrastructure ready to support you. All right, and they have well over 20 warehouses, and of course these warehouses is sitting, waiting, and loaded with as many products you can sell to get as many business partners as you can acquire, and it doesn't matter where in the world they are. So that's big, that's huge. One of the pros as well for working with us is you get immediately access to a payment gateway. I have been an entrepreneur for well over 13+ years. I've sat in many meetings with the objective of purchasing a payment gateway. Because if you plan to do international business, having a website is one thing. Having support is another to get products, and infrastructural support as well is another. But let me tell you what is one of the major challenges for the average man: having access to a payment gateway. So if you were to acquire a customer outside of your country, the major question is, how do you receive your money? How do you receive your commissions? Again, upon you getting started with the website, it's connected to a payment gateway that gives you, the average man, access to your money irrespective of where your business partners are, or irrespective of where your customers are located all around the world. And let me just tell you some of the options you're going to have access to immediately. One, Bitcoin. Again, this is a big, big, big buzzword in the digital space. everybody, including me, the uncle and the auntie, looking for legitimate ways of earning extra Bitcoin. If you're one of those persons, drop some money bags in the chat and look no further, because one of the options you're going to have with us to extract your commissions is Bitcoin. That's big. Now, I know there's still a lot of persons out there that haven't really gotten the time to, to appreciate or to even understand what is Bitcoin, how it works, and how it could work for them. No problem. We got you covered. We tell people when you go black, you do not go back. We have a black debit MasterCard. For those who are much more comfortable, going to the ATM and withdrawing cash. Of course, the debit card also works anywhere in the world that has tap to pay technology. And not to mention, you can load your debit card with your commissions and it can be utilized for online purchases. I mean, there's so much persons that get involved with us just because of that debit card. And can I also tell you, if you have family members across the world, right, and they're part of this system, bet your bottom dollar, friends, you can use our system to move money from your debit card to their debit card. It's obviously going to cost you less than Western Union. One word to the wise is sufficient. I hope you understood what was just said. Now, that's big, that's huge. And, I think the icing on the cake for our community is I tell people you get access to money mentors. What is money mentors? Well, a money mentor is somebody who can teach you how to make money, multiply money, manage money, master money, magnetize money, and just attract money in the industry of endeavor. In this industry, in our endeavor, we're talking network marketing. And I say that so that you could understand that we are being taught by one of the best and some of the best in the industry. Mr. Dan Putnam is leading the way. He started from scratch and he generated over 6 billion US dollars. We already have a couple multiple seven-figure earners on our team, and you're going to get the best coaches that the industry has to offer. Because here's the truth, friends, many persons come into this industry but they never have success. And in my humble opinion, it's because I learned a long time ago there's two ways to learn. You either learn through mistakes or mentors. And this is why we tell persons, if the information that we share sounds great and is something that you're ready to apply yourself to, would you follow the system exact? If there was a way for you to turn that $45 into that 10,000 US dollar income, would you be willing to follow the system exact? So let's look at the value proposition. It only cost you $45. You got a pack of product, which I told you is going to be free, and I'm going to explain that later down. But look at the value added that you're receiving. In my humble opinion, purchasing a website, if you're an entrepreneur and you're planning to do global business, by itself is over $45. Having access to a warehouse, whether it be local, regional, or international, where you could move products across a geographic location, by itself is over $45. Let's not talk about a payment gateway that offers you the ability to receive commissions in at least three different options. And of course, being able to move money across geographic location, if you was to calculate that alone, more than $45. And again, I tell people all the time, the people that has the information that can teach you, the coaches and the mentors that went before, that knows how to make millions and billions of dollars, chances are excellent you don't have enough money to pay them to teach you what they know, which is something that you probably don't. And that's why I always say that's the icing on the cake. Because if you had enough money to teach somebody, for somebody, sorry, to teach you how to make millions, you wouldn't have to pay them. You would have made millions already for yourself. I remember getting into the space and one of my coaches said, he said, Keyshawn, at that time, if you knew how to make $1 million, you would have made it before. You would have made it already. And that's the fact. So when you calculate these four pillars of added value, in my humble opinion, you're receiving much more in use value than cash value when you get started. And by the way, I'm a student of financial literacy. I'm a student of the sciences behind wealth creation. And in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, they say great businesses are built on the foundation of giving customers and people more use value than cash value. And that's why I'm involved with this company. This is big. So I hope you understand what you're going to get immediately. Now let's dive in and dissect the nuts and bolts, the money, where now you could appreciate why we tell people the product you receive is free. So let me start by saying you get involved. You select a pack of product of choice. Your next step, though, is to actually build distribution on a global scale. Your next step is to get business partners. And the company has an incentive for anybody that can get started with us and attract or enroll at least two business partners in their first 48 hours. So if you can get started with us tonight and you're able to get two business partners started within your first 48 hours upon starting, there's an incentive of a 1% global profit sharing with all the sales on the tropical blend and the coffee. And that's on all the products sold this week. That's an incentive that the CEO himself created. And he said, listen, usually in network marketing, you have to be at a very high level to get profit sharing, like a diamond, blue diamond, black diamond above. But he is incentivizing the minimum activity of you getting started and then you getting two business partners to do the exact same thing. In your first 48 hours, you will receive 1% of global sales. That's big. So that's incentive one. Incentive two, a lot of persons are very, very excited because we do have an internal lottery. We have an internal lotto where every 6 months for the next 3 years, the company, the CEO, has committed to giving away luxury vehicles every 6 months for the next 3 years. What is the value of these vehicles? They're going to vary between 40,000 US dollars and 70,000 US dollars, and they will be giving away these vehicles every 6 months. So, again, here's the question. How do you qualify? Well, let me help you out. You get started and you help two business partners to do the exact same thing in your first 48 hours, and you just enrolled into our lottery system. When you got started, you got 45 entries. When your first two persons did the exact same thing in 48 hours, you got 48 entries each. By the way, I usually highlight to persons that the first vehicle has not yet been given away simply because I said this part of the program is just going on 3 months. The company is 8+ years, but these two products, this new system is absolutely new. It's in Pampas, it's in infancy. So you are hearing about this first. You're hearing about this on the ground level. You're hearing about this before everybody in your country, before everybody in your community, before everybody in your church. You're hearing about this before everybody on your street. So I want you to feel privileged to be able to hear about what we're offering right now. Now, diving right into the meat of the matter, because everybody wants to know the system that allows the average man to turn that $45 into a 10,000 US dollar per month income. So let's dive into that. And this is where, if you follow the system exact, the pack of product that you selected is actually going to be free. Now, the reality is the average man may not work towards enrolling two business partners in his first 48 hours. That's not a problem, because even though you might, get your first two business partners probably in the first week or the first 2 weeks or the first 3 weeks or the first month, who knows? The reality is you're still going to be paid when they get started. And let's work the math exact. So it's going to cost you $45, $10 shipping, so a total of $55. When your first two business partners does the exact same thing that you did, which is get involved with us, the company is going to pay you $17.50 each. So the first two persons will pay you 35 US. Your job is to help your first two business partners to do the exact same thing. Now, once they are able to duplicate what you did, they obviously will receive their 35 US, but because you were instrumental in helping them, guess what? You just made a 50 US dollar bonus. So that's 35 US dollars for your first two business partners, and that's 50 US dollars for helping them to do the exact same thing. There's also a dual team compensation plan that will generate a 12 US dollar bonus for that activity. So let's work the math. It cost you 55 US dollars to get started. You earned 35 US dollars for your first two business partners. You earned 50 US dollars for helping them to do the exact same thing. And then you generated a 12 US dollar bonus in a dual team structure system. That's a grand total of 97 US dollars. This is why we tell people if you follow the system exact, let's work the math, you should realize you're in profit. You just generated 97 US dollars. So therefore, the product that is being sent to you from the company was absolutely free. And that's why we tell people once you follow the system exact, the product that you receive is absolutely free. Now let's move on. The question is, how do we now turn this structure of this system into an extra 1,000 US? How do we now turn this structure of this system into an extra 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, and of course on the screen you're seeing 40. By the way, we have well over 12 and 15 leaders globally already earning over 100,000 US dollars per month. It's real. We're not speaking hocus pocus. We're not speaking things that's generally only about to be done. We're speaking things that has already been done. So how do you get to that? Well, all you do, friends, is duplicate, or we duplicate together. And this is why we have consistent calls on a daily basis to assist you in building your business, in building your brand, in building your network. You know, I was told the average man goes out into the world at large and he looks for work. But the wealthy, they understand that they have to build a network, because your network determines your net worth. So all we do every single day is duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. You see, if you're able to duplicate that system we spoke about, which is getting two business partners, helping them to get two business partners, and you're able to duplicate that, let's say 4 to 6 levels down, you just place yourself in a position to earn between 2 to 3,000 US dollars a month. If you're able to duplicate that, let's say 6 levels to 8 levels down, you just place yourself in a position to earn between 4,000 US to about 7,000 US dollars a month. If you're able to duplicate that further, let's say 10 levels, 12 levels, 14 levels, you're now placed in a position, friends, where your network is generating a residue of income that surpasses over 10,000 US dollars a month. Of course, the big question people always ask is, where does this money come from monthly? Well, let me help you out. After the system is built, and when we tell people you need to build a system, it really means you need to save yourself time, effort, energy, and money so that you can earn money consistently, residually for you without you. This is what a system does. Every single month, every person needs to be active. And you become active by either purchasing one pack of product or two packs of product the first week of every new month. That's how you become active. That's how you are qualified to continue earning. Now, people ask, so does that mean I have to take money out of my pockets to reorder a new product next month? No. Here's what I need you to take a note of. And listen to what I'm going to say. If you follow the system exact, the next time you have to purchase a pack of product, the money that pays for that product should come from your profit. It should not come from your pocket. This is if you follow the system exact. Let's work the math. Let's say you got involved with us today and it took you, let's say, 2 days or 1 week or 2 weeks. And you were able to get your two business partners and help them to get two business partners. You generated 97 US. Now, imagine you work with us for the next 2 weeks or the next 3 weeks. In the next 30 days, when it's time for you to purchase a product, the money that is going to be paying for that one pack of product or those two packs of product should not come from your pocket. It should come from your profit. And it's going to come from your profit if you followed the system exact. Of course, 60 days from now, the first week of the second month, you'd have to purchase one pack of product or two packs of products to be active. But of course, we recommend you follow the system exact, and the snowball effect is going to start taking place in the next 60 days, because you will have more people in your network compared to the first 30 days, especially on the 60th day. Once you're working with us, we are sharing this every single day. How about the first week of the third month? The snowball effect should have taken place. And again, if you follow the system exact, No money should ever have to come out of your pocket more than once to get started, and you should be following the system exact every single week. What is the system? Well, let me tell you one of the system we have in place to ensure your success. One, every single day, God Spare Life, we have 5 live Zoom calls. 9:30 a.m. You can use those calls to get your persons on to hear about what we're offering. How about 10:30 a.m. as well, right after the 9:30? Then 12 noon, then 2:30 p.m. And then at night, every single 9:30, God Spare Life, we're gonna be here sharing the system on your behalf for the next 90 days. You can literally build a network of hundreds of persons, thousands of persons. You can even build a network of no amount of persons if you follow or you don't follow the system exact. The reality is we are here to assist you to build distribution, not just locally or regionally, but on a global scale. And let me leave your presence by saying, please reserve a position of equity. I tell Elijah's story every single night because it's very significant. When he got started, pretty much like me, we didn't understand everything. But we have something called a real relationship. And I tell people, if you really have a real relationship with the person that brought you onto the call tonight, you should understand that they have your best interest at hand, at heart. So he got involved just hearing the basics, not really understanding everything, because again, we have a relationship. Same thing with me when I got started. And I said, Elijah, reserve a position of equity. Couple of weeks ago, we were spoken, and I looked inside of the network and I asked him, I said, bro, you realize you have well over 250 persons underneath you by default? And he was like, serious? I was like, yeah. And I give you the story because the company has a dual team system, meaning they only have 2 legs, one on the right, one on the left. If you get started tonight, let's say, for example, 40 persons get started tomorrow night, chances are excellent. Some of these people can fall inside your team. Out of the 40, who knows? 8 could fall inside your organization, 10 could fall in your organization, 20 could fall in your organization. And every single time they purchase products, volume or points is produced, and the company pays all of us up to 20% on every single product bought in the network, which pays up to 20,000 US dollars per week, not per month, per week. And we are paid on this volume to infinity. There's no cap. It doesn't go 10 levels down or 20 levels down or 100 levels down. As far, as wide, as deep as we can build, the volume is going to come up and the company is going to pay us up to 20,000 US dollars a week. And this is why it's a global campaign. So this leads me to ask you, who do you know in Jamaica? Who do you know in Grenada? Who do you know in St. Vincent? Who do you know in St. Lucia? Who do you know in the US? Who do you know in Canada? And once these persons get involved, they're going to be placed in our network, potentially and possibly under you in the next available space. And remember, these legs go to infinity. Imagine you are responsible for getting a couple persons in Jamaica involved and it spreads like wildfire. A couple hundreds of people get involved. And let's say it's spread into all the other Caribbean islands and a couple of hundred or thousands of people get involved. And all of us collectively earn up to 20% of all the products being bought. This is big. This is huge. Let me ask you the final question before we leave, because network marketing is the shortcut to the long cut. What is the long cut? Most of us were sold on the 40-40 plan, where we go into the job market between 20 and 25. We mentally commit to working 40 years until we retire at 60 and 65. We work 40 hours a week at the 8 to 4, the 9 to 5. And here's the truth, friends. The maximum compensation plan after you worked for 40 years, 40 hours a week, you can Google what I'm about to say, is 40% of 100% of money that you could not live on in the first place. How on earth you think you're going to live on 40% of 100% of money that you're struggling to live on right now? That is what the GOB system has in store for the average man. So we tell people network marketing is your shortcut to that retirement plan. Imagine, let me ask you a question. If you took some time and worked with us, let's say 4 days a week, for the next 12 months, for the next 24 months, probably for the next 36 months, and you really worked diligently to build this network globally, and we have great products, and in the next 24 to 36 months, every single month, the residual income from the network you built paid you, let's say, just 3,000 US dollars or 4,000 US dollars, would that be enough for you to leave an 8 to 4? Would that be enough for you to leave a 9 to 5? If yes, just drop a yes in the chat. I want to see who I'm speaking to. Because I'm saying that so that you can wrap your mind around the potential of what we have here. This is real. Network marketing is a legitimate, viable option if you're able to collaborate with a real company that has real products and a real community. So the reality is we're going to help so much persons replace their 8 to 4 and their 9 to 5 just by building distribution. And you can join us part-time until you earn a full-time income. But let me tell you this, if you're able to really commit, friends, and you worked with us for the next 24 months, 36 months, and you place not just yourself, but your family in a position to start earning 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 US dollars a month. What would life look for you if you started generating that on a monthly basis? Bringing a real product into your market, bringing a real product into the Caribbean region, bringing a real product into your church, bringing a real product into your community, bringing a real product into the families connected with you. And this is what I want you to envision. And we tell people freedom isn't free. You got to fight to build it. And always remember, the average man looks for work, but the man who understands he has to build wealth looks for a way to build a network. This is financial literacy one-on-one. With that said, I want to thank you for your time. Get back to the person that brought you onto the call. Sit with them, ask the questions so that you can have entire clarity as to how to proceed forward. And when you sit with them, please just ask them, what is the system that I have to follow exact? Don't second guess your coach. Don't second guess your mentor. Because whoever brought you into this call have been highly trained. They know exactly what to tell you. They know exactly what to teach you. It's going to usually start with a project 100, a project 200, a project 300. Please, friends, I urge you, follow the system exact. Because if you knew how to make $1 million, can I tell you that you would have done it already? And this is why everyone needs a money mentor, else you will learn from mistake. I want to humbly suggest you learn from a mentor, somebody that went before. Have a great night. See you at the top. And again, tomorrow, please God, we're going to have it popping like popcorn. Let's go. Have a great night.